Good morning from Sacred Space at Titania's Realm. It's the 15th of April 2024 and it's 11:45 a.m. and I've decided to come back with another video of even date, having made one just prior for the 14th of April. So so I continue on. Memories, 15th of April 2024. Strong arms, strong hearts, relinquishing attachments to the past, savouring freedom whenever and wherever I may find it. And I posted a photograph of my mother's beautiful crystal candelabra that I sold. Was it 2 years ago now? I can't even remember. But it was a very spiritual day and very beautiful encounter. So 15th of April 2023, I shared a YouTube video, 2 YouTube videos. Why is that not scrolling? "15th of April 2022. Happy Passover, happy Easter, happy Ishtar, happy Ramadan. Let there be peace in all the worlds, blessings, safety, truest, deepest loves." I'm always wishing and yearning for that, my darlings. Abundance, and most importantly, freedom. Freedom to be the best version of whom you are. Freedom to manifest all that you need, and perhaps even more, so you can enjoy the freedom from money worries. Oh, Be'ezrat Hashem, wouldn't that be wonderful? Freedom from money worries. Anyway, it is what it is. I have 2 major blocks in my life: finding a truly loving, devoted, authentic, sincere, faithful, loyal partner, and money. But I've scraped myself through this life for 29 years without either of those 2 things, and it's a bit astonishing, people. But it's no great surprise that my health is deteriorating now that I'm 59. I mean, it's been deteriorating for quite some years now. From the chronic fucking stress alone would be enough to kill me, but every day in every way I rise above my own situation and try and give myself a good enough life where I'm at least contented and, most importantly of all, safe. So there is that, my darlings. Freedom to choose the person you most aspire to be. Freedom to surround yourself in love and light and dignity, surrounded by a like-minded community, family, friends, partners who see you, value you, cherish you, and delight in you. In quotation marks, let my people go. 15th of April 2021, 7:42 a.m, waiting for the man who bought my former mother's crystal candelabra to pick it up. It is an exquisite piece, but I am manifesting a new life, hoping to find my niche and eventually start a silversmithing business. In the middle of a fucking COVID apocalypse, Mama T wants to start a business. This is how you know I'm a little bit mad, people. All these businesses have gone to the wall. I even noticed in Byron a lot of businesses had gone from there. So the COVID epoch wreaked a lot of damage on lives, including financially, and I dream and aspire to being a businesswoman again. It's bonkers, people. But anyway, I keep trying because it's a living. Come, my darling. Come. That's it. Good girl. She wants her mama. It's a living and a hobby and something to aspire to, and Mama T very rarely gives up on her dreams, even if they're a tad delusional, like finding a loving man who actually wants to spend the rest of his life with me. Ridiculous, given how shitty my health is at the moment too. But you know, what dreams may come. If you don't even have dreams and joy in your life, then you really are already dead. So I keep dreaming the psychedelic dream, even if it seems ridiculous, and you never know. One day, some of those dreams might manifest in 3D reality in quite surprising and beautiful and graceful and astonishing ways. To my inner child who just smirked at me and went, "Really, Tanya? Really? Yes, really." Anyway, here I said, eventually start a silversmithing business or something equally creative and satisfying. So I needed the money to buy tools and other silversmithing equipment. Letting go of Gisela's opulence does kinda hurt, but my life needs radical change, and I need to get out of my poverty trap that she so cunningly and viciously forced me into. I am sure I paid for that candelabra with my own trauma as a child and as an adult woman. And indeed I did. 2.5-year will dispute with nothing but ugliness. I paid and I paid and I fucking paid. So in a way, you know, I'm glad I sold it. There's still a few more big items that I probably should sell, but I fought so hard for them, and I'm entitled to nice things too, quite frankly. So here I write, so fuck it, it can just go. Adrian, who bought the candelabra, was such a kind, gorgeous man. He said, start your silversmithing hobby and commit to it, and when you feel you are struggling, fight for it. Too many people give up on their dreams too easily. He's completely right about that. Completely. He came to buy the candelabra and he gifted me with so much wisdom and sweetness and kindness and grace that I would like to have, kept him as a friend, but he just was a way shower and a messenger. But I honour that. Wherever you are, Adrian Bland, Goddess bless you. I hope you're enjoying the candelabra. He said he too had suffered immensely, and we are like wild weeds, and the gods just won't let us die. So it's time to thrive. Indeed we are. We survivors of child abuse. We're actually quite magical and amazing people. We're not like ordinary people who had perfect lives, and ordinary people who had perfect lives can't resonate with us. They have no fucking idea what it cost us to even be alive in this moment in the space-time continuum and still have love and joy and peace in our hearts most of the time. Sometimes we fall into the dark abyss, but most of the time we're incredibly amazing human beings. Incredibly. How delightful that he completely resonated with me, a complete stranger. He also said, there is love out there for you, Tanya, when you can trust again and try to keep your heart open. But he said he had a much better, saner, happier life when he was on his own. No cheating, lying, backstabbing, or robbing. Yuppa, yuppers. I looked at him and said, that is exactly where I am at now. I am quite alone, but have beautiful, soulful, cherished friends and my beautiful garden, and I function much better alone. But I need to find a way to make money from my talents and get out of the god-awful poverty trap. So that was an astonishing connection so early in the morning. He said, you are very much loved, and although there are so many god-awful people out in the world, there are some truly kind, good ones too. He was a very wealthy man, actually. He turned up in a Range Rover and, he was wearing a beautiful diamond wedding ring, and I could see he was wealthy. And don't get me wrong, I don't judge people whether they're wealthy or poor. I've lived both lifestyles to a certain degree, more poor than wealthy though. And so I don't judge people by how much money they have in their bank account or the clothes they wear or their accoutrement. But I can't help feeling that he bought the candelabra almost as an act of charity, because the way he was gifting me with all this spiritual and emotional comfort made me think. And it was an expensive item, it wasn't cheap. I didn't sell it off cheap, like I usually do with some of Mum's things. And yes, it was an act of charity to me, and I can't help feeling that his words of wisdom, he had actually probably Googled me and read some of my life histories that are up on Vocal Media, because his messages were just tailor-made and so appropriate. He was really speaking to me as a soul and as an individual, and it was astonishing and very, very immensely kind. I smiled and said, yes, and I am grateful to have them as friends, meaning some truly good, kind people in my life. I just had a wee epiphany. Trauma survivors surround ourselves with the trappings of wealth and success, which is what my mother did, constantly filling our innate void imposed on us by the fates. But ultimately, just got to keep an eye on where Charlie goes. But ultimately, the only true wealth and opulence and beauty comes from deep within our souls, and we have to cast off the dross and pain that guarded our true gems by going supernova. Shine bright like a diamond forged by pressure, beautiful, beautiful, sacred stars. Our earth needs you to step into your light. Here I wrote, she came up on my birthday, a gift from the Fae, on a Brindabella rosebush that has struggled to survive for several years, that I thought might actually die. So I left the bloom on the wee bush a bit longer so the plant could rejoice in its blossoming. But removing it for my own selfish vanity might give the plant a chance to create more blooms, or is this its last fecund hurrah? Life is beautiful, even in the last blossoming. I am grateful and blessed to be here in this moment. I don't know if you can even see it. It's too much glare. Let's try this way. No. Anyway, it's a beautiful striped rose that I'm holding in my hand, and if you want to see the photo, look it up on Vocal Media under the 15th of April 2023 it says, because I haven't changed everything over to 2024, because to do that you have to copy and paste the whole lot and start a whole new page. Sometimes the algorithms reject the stories that have been published, and that grinds my gears. So I'm not jumping through those hoops. I can't be bothered. So look up under 2023, but it's there. I just dug in the tulips, hyacinths and jonquil bulbs. I scraped some potting mix to put on top of the jonquils, as there is not enough soil where I planted them under the golden rain tree. To my astonishment, there were big fat earthworms in it. They had flashes of electric blue colours on their skin. I thought, ye gods, am I like high? But looked again. It's real. I raced in to get this iPhone to take a photo, but I am uploading a video. I will try to take a photo when it's done. And oh look, I really want you to see the earthworms, but I don't think they'll show up. But there were such beautiful colours. They looked like opals. It was just astonishing. I actually thought, how can I be high? I haven't taken any substances. In those days I wasn't on bladder medication yet, but I was just like, felt like I was in a really high vibration. And then I thought, maybe I'm imagining seeing these colours on the earthworms. But no, I managed to capture the glimpses of them flickering the colour. It was astonishing. Then I posted a photo of Beauregard, and I said, he looks like a teddy bear snuggled in beside me on the couch. And then I also wrote, people, not things, heart wealth, not manifested greed, love and light, not smite and spite. Oh, and as my Viking Völva rune reader gifted me with these potent energies, harvest and flow. The Tanya is ready to receive her gifts from the multiverses, and to create beauty and grace, and to be joyous and carefree, and manifest more love and light than she ever thought possible. But first I gotta lie down, as I am excited for my new ventures and my new psychedelic dreaming. Silly as a wheel, but delightful. 15th of April 2020. I lay down as I am worried about Crystal, who is sick but not answering her phone. I don't know if she has COVID, but she had tonsillitis and now has a runny nose and migraines. I can't check on her as I don't know her apartment number. She really is an idiot not giving her own mother her address, by the way. It's not like I'd stalk her. Like, this was like kind of an emergency to my mind, because she was genuinely quite ill. But anyway, her crazy notions of being super independent are actually self-sabotage too. Like, it's just bonkers. But what can you do with a kid like that? Just accept and move on. So I freaked out a bit, given the weird fucked up times we are living in. Anyway, Bobo literally came and curled up above my head, So there is some comfort in that. He could sense that I was freaking out about my daughter. When everything goes to shit and you can't rely on your daughter to communicate, there is a dog. I hope she is okay. Then I posted a meme I made from a photo of Beauregard lying down, all relaxed and joyful, and I wrote, "Coronavirus? What coronavirus? Let sleeping dogs lie." Indeed. Well, now he's sleeping with the angels, and I'm still very distraught about that. 15th of April 2019. Gar. Set alarm, snoozed through it 3 times, asked Siri to set again for 7 a.m. It failed. Woke up at 7:30 a.m, panic dressed, scrubbed teeth, sent dog out to pee. Made it to the PA at 8:02 a.m. Fuck early appointments. Herded in like sheep here. I'm really not well and this is an extra burden. But yay, they offered tea facilities, so drinking tea in the waiting room and looking forward to getting back home and crawling back into bed. Nice. It was interesting watching an entitled German couple try to push in front of a very dignified and beautiful older Indian woman behind me in the queue. I set my shoulders very square in preparation for a fight. The German woman moved behind me and pressed against my handbag, which was slung on my shoulder, so I gently pushed back without turning to look at her. She got the message very quickly. Lol. I felt a little triggered as my mother Gisela was also an inveterate queue jumper with zero respect for other humans, but never fuck with a German, Jewish, New Zealander, Viking, heathen who is angry, sleepy, hungry, and has fucking gallstones. In a tiny voice, "My bile is rising." What convenient excuse will I have for my ire when my gallbladder is excised? None. None at all. I will make it up according to the situation and continue in my life plan to avoid most people. 15th of April 2018. Yesterday was powerful and magical. I went through so many different peaks and troughs in my personal energy and emotions, from feeling tired with a severe headache to being uplifted in the strong male arms of a stranger and thrown into the air, but held strong and fierce and brought back to my stilettoed feet and whirling dervishing my dance of a madwoman into the night. Some gorgeous, very tall, very strong young Irishman, I think it was at O'Malley's, hobbit tossed me up into the air and caught me. Thankfully he caught me. And you know, I'm a large woman. I was hellishly impressed by that. It was delightful. There are many things I have lacked in life and many things I still aspire to, but being surrounded by loving, supportive friends and even strangers who are able to express their innate power and joy and wildness in a fun way with harm to none is my greatest delight in my life. I have always longed for love and recognition, or perhaps that is the wrong word. Self-acceptance. It has often been torn from me by the most cruel and bizarre circumstances beyond my control, but I sense a deep change in me, that all the wonderful blessings I have longed for were or are already inside me, and I have finally tapped into that deep, powerful source of profoundly humbling, almost worshipful grace and beauty, honour and power. In the Māori language they call it mana, and in the African American language they call it mojo. Like a spirograph of circles flowing all around me in the encounter with the I and the thou, swirling magnificently and often seemingly always watching from the outside, clawing at the see-through walls, gasping for air and for my turn. I have lived to witness the return, flowing freely and with gentleness. Moving on is not the same thing as giving up. My heart belongs to me and you and cosmic consciousness. And we are all so connected by a thread of life force and meaning and bliss. I have survived because I have not let go of the dreaming in a time of being, and the psychedelic dance healed my body as much as it was harmed by it. The hedonistic revelry that seemed so senseless and selfish and sensual healed the broken hearts and minds with humour and hubris and hugely delicious delights. Sometimes we fell calamitously and clamorously, but other times we flew on the wings of angels, eagles, and all human intervention. Blessed be to the thrivers, the singers of the song lines of our land and heart, the thinkers, the builders of the aditum, and the healers, the dreamers, and all right, giggles, the tossers. Know whom you are. Know whom you are before the evils of our times fucked you up and over, and then come out to play. We are here for you, children of the universe, masters of our own destinies, and bearers of love and light, which blossoms beautifully. I had a wonderful weekend with my joyous, carefree wild friends. At O'Malley's, a young Irishman, soon to be a new father, so was celebrating the last of his life, free of nocturnal screaming. Hobbit tossed me in the air. I was amused. We all danced wildly, then it got too hot, no aircon at O'Malley's, so we then moved on to Brooklyn Standard, which was too crowded, but much cooler. At O'Malley's, there were a bunch of singers and jammers playing the Irish tin whistle, a ukulele, and banjo. They sung some traditional Irish songs and the usual pop songs. It was quite lovely. I taught one of the young Irishmen how to dance Israeli style, the hora, well, sort of, ha ha ha. Very nice fellows. I explained Israeli dancing is like Irish dancing, only more Russian and emphatic, less lyrical than Irish folk dancing. Not that I am an expert on folk dancing myself, mind, which made it even more insanely funny. We started the evening at 5 p.m. and were home by midnight. We were all exhausted, but happy. 15th of April, 2017. It's a gorgeous morning. I have had a shower and washed my hair. Charlie has given himself a bath in his water bowl. The dog is at my feet as usual. The cats are sunning themselves. The chickens are chickening out and the fish are swishing about in their private worlds. Lucky fish. The garden is smiling at the sunshine, which threatens occasionally to cloud over, but so far is choosing light. The Tanya is relatively happy. I had Whittaker's chocolate and the most beautiful yogurt gifted me by the beautiful Sally. I cannot be trusted with chocolate in the house, but hey, I'm going down in a blaze of glorious, delectable delights. I gave some yogurt to the bird, but he liked the sweetness but not the texture. Yogurt is meant to be good for chickens, so it surely won't hurt Charlie. I'm trying to get his leg feathers to come back to their former glory. The little bugger won't eat the spinach I bought him for vitamin B. I like a critter that knows his own mind, but this one is stubborn, like the Tanya. So we are sitting under the market umbrella, and Charlie is twittering away as he nibbles on his nectar mix. I am on the laptop. All is good, chez moi. Toda rabba. Alles gut and kapai. Alsjeblieft. Not sure how to spell Dutch, so we'll give it up for now. And what those words in those different languages, French, Hebrew, German and Maori mean, and Dutch mean, all is good at my place. Thank you very much. Everything's good, and good, kapai means good. Alsjeblieft, I think, means please, or my pleasure. I'm not quite sure now. 15th of April 2016, 6:09 p.m. Been outside cleaning the scoria of all the red dust. 1 bag done, 5 bags to go. Blimey, bit of a task. It will be worth it. I wonder what veggies I can grow. Maybe an eggplant and some celery. Not much room for big bushy plants in a bathtub. I can always grow more herbs too. Finally out of bed. I am so fatigued from months of coughing my guts out, and now the bronchitis is very mild at last. My body just wants to sleep, warm and snuggly on my pillow top, doona cocoon. I have arisen from my bedchamber to hang out washing, clear some rubbish I burnt off outside, and to motivate myself for a night dancing with Jo. I haven't seen her at the casino since she got a new man, so it will be lovely to dance with her again and perhaps meet her beau. I look forward to a good night out, but my lungs are still squeezing, so it won't be as epic as it usually is. The Tanya is slowing down a lot. "15th of April 2012, exhausted. Crystal went to hospital tonight due to a reflux attack. Scary. She's being sent home, so it wasn't heart related as I feared. Our lives are so full of chaos and stress. I wonder how much more must we endure? Indeed, how much more were we made to endure with the last 4 years? For now I am relieved that my daughter is fine, but her health issues will need thorough investigations. 15th of April 2011. Feeling hideously tired after today's events. I must have been more anxious than I thought. I suppose a sensible woman would go to bed right now, but somehow I don't want to, even though I'm sleepy. Silly woman. And that was a comment on. Lynn and I met with my barrister and solicitor this afternoon. It was very interesting, and I am hopeful that the strategies explained to me today will get things moving in the right direction. Phew. In actual fact, it was kind of just more grooming of the sociopath. Ka-ching, ka-ching. But I had to try. I had no option other than to at least try. So I tried. I lost out. I got enough money for a car and my teeth, and the rest is history, and I'm still very pissed off about all of that, quite frankly, all these years later. But it is what it is, and at the end of the day, it's only money, isn't it? Everyone prospered by that but me. But I'm alive. If my health improves, I have potential to rebuild somehow, and if it doesn't, I'll go down to Valhalla, knowing that I lived honourably and decently and lived my very best life at all times under whatever circumstances were thrown at me, usually by the most evil, putrescent bastards. But I'm surrounded by beauty and love and gorgeousness, and I am grateful to those of you who flow love to me daily, and those of you who play their music, wow, for the bands, for the Brooklyn Standard, but also flow love to me and enjoy my wild dancing, participating in your music. I am grateful, and I do genuinely love you and care, and I'm grateful for the healing of the music for the last 13 years. It kept me alive sometimes in very, very dark times and got me through a lot of grief and trauma, and I'm very grateful for that. Your beautiful souls gifting of your own energy and your music. Goddess bless you always. Afterwards, Lynn and I had coffee and cheesecake, then came back to my place for more quality chats. I am so grateful to all my friends for the love, support and caring they have given me over many years. You rock my world, people. It means so very much that you believe in me and stand by me. Love you all very much. And especially to my generous, almost patrons who dragged me through the last 13 years by gifting me with your generosity. You know who you are too. Love you too. 15th of April 2009, Squish, Pop, Cicero, Not Guilty, and all that jazz, which means I was about to have a mammogram. I get very sarcastic when I'm about to have mammograms and get squished and popped and all that jazzed. You have to laugh. And on that note, thus concludes today's readings of the 15th of April 2024, and I hope you enjoyed that walk down memory lane as much as I did, and I had the potent reminders from Adrian Bland, who bought the candelabra, of how wonderfully and beautifully I'm loved, even though I don't have a life partner by my side. I have love from often unusual and unique and astonishing ways, coming from many different vectors of our society, and there may even be people out there that I have not realised have my back and front and sides, because they do it very quietly and very silently and don't always show me that they're supporting me. They're discreet and loving and compassionate and kind. Some of them are my doctors, going about their businesses, professional healers in the allopathic system, and some of them I have had great healing from people that, you know, might have just been something as simple as someone approaching me with a beauteous smile, like I had yesterday at Byron Bay, and the quirky couple we met in the car park as we were about to leave Byron, who watched me walking towards my car and said to me, "Oh, look how beautiful you look, and oh, look at your beautiful shoes." You know, my Roman sandals with all the pom-poms. And again, it was a compliment from the man commenting on my shoes, which I had compliments from a man at the Brooklyn Standard on Friday night. So I'm seen for my quirky, artistic, weird ways and my sometimes unusual and bohemian and opulent modes of dress, and I'm heard from my energy and my words, and I do declare Adrian Bland back in 2021 was right. I am deeply loved in often quite astonishing and intense, sometimes a little bit overwhelming ways, like the two women that were leaning on me on Friday night. Could even feel her breast pressed into mine, which was a little bit too much intimacy even for me as a woman. But they were loving on the Mama T energies, or potentially trying to dominate me, but I don't think so. I think they couldn't get close enough to me. I felt like a body pillow. But anyway, love is the law, people, the fabric of the multiverses, and receive it with good humour and good grace, unless it gets too fucking creepy, then hold your ground and have firm boundaries. But the big agape love, the sweetness that is non-threatening and heartfelt and genuine and beautiful, I'm always happy to receive and flow back out to you, my darlings. So on that note, I'm off to the skin doctor just for a check over, and hopefully I don't need any treatment because he charges money now and I won't be able to afford it. So I'll have to have that discussion with him, because God help us, everything costs large volumes of money now. So I'm a bit worried about that, but I'll see what he has to say. I have to pay $80 today just for the check, so that's a lot of money to me, but well, it's that or skin cancer, so between a rock and a hard place. But anyway, I'll ask him what options I can do. Maybe I'll have to start seeing a skin doctor at the hospital as an outpatient or something, so I can have free medical treatment. There must be a way around things. Anyway, Goddess bless, God bless, the Holy One in all manifestations, and love to you all. Blessed be. Bye for now.